we're fucking back to play more Phantasy Star Online 2. Why are you wearing the sunglasses?
It makes
Protect
my
your
eyes
eyes.
feel good.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know,
You were having
I feel safe.
You were having some like eye issues recently.
I think it's just the blood vessels underneath my eyes. It feels more like my, you know, the bags under my eyes. Whenever I go to Target and use the self-checkout, or any self-checkout in particular, Target just feels more harsh because everything's red. But I look the absolute worst in those fucking self-checkout security cams. I think it's just because I have, like, really, like, washed out olive skin. Like, I look at myself and, like, the dark circles under my eyes are, like, mad prominent. It looks like there's a marker under my eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys can relate, but it's like...
It's intense.
I go in there and, like, I see that and immediately my eyes start to hurt. Like, I can feel it. This happened all the time when I used to work at Target. Because I would often watch the self-checkout because I'm a master of technology and am the only person in there who can fucking figure out how to work them or fix them. So I would just be around there all the time. And then they installed the cameras and I'm like, oh no. Like, I cannot look at myself in these. I look so bad.
Yeah, it's weird.
What's the point? There's nobody who's looking at them, like, all of the time. Nobody's, like, watching, surveillancing the cameras. Like, I guess it's so they can see if somebody is stealing, but, like, it's very easy to kind of obstruct the camera. Like, you can see where the camera is, you know, and it's displaying you, so, like, if you were gonna steal something, you know, just block out the camera. Like, you know where it is, you know it can see. What is the point of it?
Just to be, just to, you know, make you look at yourself. Maybe it's just to, like, instill guilt in you. Or maybe it's just to make you afraid that you can't.
I think it might be there to make you afraid, to make it feel more legitimate. Like, oh, there's actually some surveillance here, even though fucking, you know, commercial stores like that really can't do much about shoplifting unless you're a repeat offender. But, like, they can't really chase you out the door. If you're not paying, there's no way to really identify who you are. If you're paying with cash, there's no way to identify who you are. You could wear a hat, you can obstruct, like, your eyes, like, the camera is pointless, to be there. I do think it's kind of just, like, the companies that make the self-checkouts are just kind of like, oh, let's, throw a useless camera on the top so we can charge these businesses to install all this extra equipment that really doesn't do anything. Like, it's just to look, you know, intimidating. It's just there basically to serve.
That's what we're assuming. I mean, maybe they have a purpose.
I mean, I worked there. Like, there's nobody who's, like, constantly surveillancing the cameras.
Isn't there like I think there is a security.
There
is
a security team member, but
just
like
sits in a room full of monitors, right?
No, the security guy is usually on the floor.
No, but, like, there is, like, a surveillance person, like, who watches all the screens that are in, like, watches all the cameras in the store at the same time.
Yeah, that would be in Target, the same guy, but, like, they're usually on the floor. It's usually just
the same person.
Yeah, it's usually just the same security guy, and, like, they're not always there either. It's not like there's constantly a security guy there. They work, you know, regular
I just remember
hours.
in training, they were like, you know, they introduced us. There's a lady at our store, and she's like, oh,
honestly,
yeah,
the security cameras may be more to keep an eye on employees.
That's also very possible.
Because, like, when they installed them, they didn't, like, really tell us much about them in my store. It's just kind of like, oh, yeah, we put the cameras in. But, like, you know, the employees fucking steal all the time. Yeah. Like, they might be stealing candy, and it's just like, you know, they can, if they catch it.
May I remind everyone that you,
okay,
you
stop.
You know, everybody's heard
it's
your
not
story.
Okay.
No,
when I was a kid, I did some stupid things, and yeah, I you know, returned to work at a Target that I may have, like, stolen.
Been banned from, technically.
Yeah, I did technically get banned for life.
That's
but,
the
like,
funniest part
again,
of that story.
I mean, I was a minor. They didn't really know who I was. It's just
right,
like
but it wasn't
security
even
guy.
like it wasn't like a huge breadth of time between, right? Like probably less than 5 years.
No, it was more than that.
More than 5 years.
Because I was
Were you
probably
in middle school?
I was probably in, like, I don't remember. I was probably in high school, though. But
yeah, I guess you were in college for a couple of years before you came back.
That's the age when people shoplift. I grew out of it, but
There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Fucking everybody does it. Except for me, because I'm a pussy. But
it's particularly what I was stealing. Like,
am I the only person who feels bad for not stealing?
Yeah. Because, like, I honestly regret it. Because it's like, yeah, sure, like, I don't really care about making those companies richer. But, like, you know, you kind of sully yourself after you do something like that. It's like something that's always on your conscience, and it may have been like 7 years ago or so when it happened. It's just like, oh, well, I have the capacity to do something like this, and it really is kind of like, I mean, I don't really care so much about the people who are involved or impacted by my actions. It's more of just like, well, you know, I don't believe that this is something that, like, I need to be doing, you know?
Yeah.
But it is kind of like a weird...
Hey, I leveled up.
It's a weird kind of discordance, because it's like, well, on the one hand, like, nobody's life is being negatively impacted by the thing that I did.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a whose.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you know, the corporate...
the people who work at the store might be like, oh, we have to, you know... We have to tighten up security, but, like, they already are charging you so much more for the goods.
I mean, I definitely think that, like, I don't know if it's like this at Target, but, like, at smaller retail stores, you will get, like, blamed if people are stealing too much shit from your store. Like, when my mom worked at Spencer's, they had, like, an incentive structure to prevent stealing, where it's like, if your store had less stealing, then it was like a bonus, and they would give you these little lightning bolts every time you caught
Honestly,
somebody.
I think shoplifting probably does target more good because they hire more security. Like,
Yeah,
if it's a store that has, like, high theft, they're gonna hire more security. That's just gonna create more jobs at the end of the day. Like,
and catch more of the thieves, because...
Right, it's kind of like... I don't think anybody's life was negatively impacted. Like, the people who are at the bottom of the barrel, like, people who are working at the factories who are making these objects, and, like, they're not being punished for this merchandise that was already purchased by the retailer. Target, obviously, like, it's fucking Target. But, like, yeah, I did a bad thing, and you shouldn't steal. It's bad. It's really bad. You shouldn't do it because, like, it's a gateway drug, you know? You might start, like, killing people after that. You might lose all sense of morality, dude.
You know, what do you think is like the biggest gateway drug?
The biggest gateway drug?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because, like, people always say, like, oh, weed is bad because it's a gateway drug. I definitely think... on some level, that's true. Or at least it was before it became illegal. Or became legal, rather. Because, like, the fact that weed is legal, it's like, okay, well, you're not going to feel like you're doing an illicit activity if you do something that's legal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Although I do think, like... I really think we need to get rid of the stigma on it. Because I feel like there's almost more of a stigma on smoking pot now... because more people are doing it, so it comes up more. I don't know. I could be totally full of shit. When I was in, like, high school, it was like everybody I hung out with smoked weed, and I did not. And, like, I don't know. I hadn't stigmatized them or anything, but, like, it never seemed like there was anybody who was against it, you know?
Right,
like,
I mean,
I never knew anybody
you go
who was
back to, like,
it.
the 70s, and it was, you know, it wasn't as frowned upon to do drugs like that. Like,
yeah.
LSD was legal for a bit. They had, like, legal hallucinogenic drugs. It definitely, I think, is something that's being pushed and kind of framed by the media and politicians who maybe, like, you know, want their areas free from drugs. The war on drugs, I think, after that, definitely any kind of, like, drug activity has been heavily stigmatized, and that's something that, like...
I mean, obviously, war on drugs was already going way before I was in high school, but...
No, definitely, like... In our modern times, it's hard to say because I grew up, like, very afraid of drugs, like, as a kid. So, like, I didn't have high opinions of people who did drugs. It's just, like, I didn't really know what that made them be like. It's just like, oh, you're breaking the law. Well, it's funny because I didn't
either, and, like, I've always just been afraid to do anything illegal, but I kind of, like, I don't know. I don't want to say admire, but, like, I don't take the law seriously. I just am afraid of consequences, you know? Like, if there was ever an argument for why the law is necessary, it would be me. Because, like, yes, I am that guy who won't do something just because it's illegal, or at least I was growing up, you know? It's just like, you know, it had nothing to do with being afraid of the drug itself or what effect it would have. Like, it's just purely, oh, it's illegal and that's scary, you know?
Yeah. It definitely is a chilling effect, and, like, that is the biggest reason to have a law, because, like, it can't prevent people from doing the action. Like, it's illegal to kill people. People get murdered all the time, every day. Suicide is illegal, but people do it all the time, every day. Like, it's more of just, like, you are...
you're less likely.
You're less likely, and you're also kind of behaving on the expectation that, you know, people will... around you will follow the law more.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, with murder and stuff, like, obviously if you're in an area where that happens, you know, you're gonna probably watch your back a little bit more. But if you're in an area where it is illegal to drive, let's say there is places in the country that you can drive drunk. If you're in one of those places, you're gonna be, like, way more cautious and afraid of your for your life when you go out at night, because people will be driving drunk. But, like, I don't know, that's kind of a weird example, but I think it's more of just, like, a way that, you know, our society defines what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable. At a baseline.
I think that's like the point.
Overall, it's just, like, as a way to kind of shape society, and, like, people who engage in illegal behavior are going to be stigmatized.
Yeah. But now that it's legal, people are still like, fucking...
yeah, but it's not legal everywhere.
Right.
It's a hot debated issue, but, like, if you go to Canada, they, I remember watching Degrassi. Degrassi's like this, it's like this teen kind of soap opera-y show, where they, you know, they have, like, really dramatic things happening to teenage characters. And when the time the show was airing, when I was watching it, I think the province of Ontario, like, recreational marijuana was legal. So they had, like, middle school and high school age characters who were smoking weed, which is something that, like, doesn't really happen in Western media, and, like, if it does, they're stigmatized. They're, like, the bad guys. But, like, it was a character you were made to feel like you were made to care about. I think it was the character that Nina Dobrev, who's, like, really fucking hot, was playing. So it's, like, a character that people like, who has, like, a fun personality, who's, like, engaging in a behavior that, like, is illegal, that we've been told our whole life is illegal, you won't get jobs, but, like, is legal in Canada. And they're able to put that in a kid's show.
Right.
So it's just, like...
I don't know if it's a kid's show, like a teen show.
Degrassi aired on Noggin.
I don't know what that is.
Noggin was, like, a Nickelodeon's kid channel.
Was it?
Yeah. They had, like... It's, like, a Nickelodeon channel. So, like, it is a kid's show. It is made for, like, middle school and high school children. All I know about Degrassi is that you told me that somebody, like, kills themselves and that Drake's in it. Yeah, Drake is in it. That's how Drake got his start.
Drake!
Degrassi's, like, a weird show because I watched it because it's edgy. I watched it when I was, like, in middle school. And they have characters
like... that's what I would think. It's like a middle schooler show. Like, I don't think of that as a kid's show. It's like a middle schooler
it's,
show.
You know, people who are watching it are probably not 18.
When I think kids show, I think, like, Pokemon, you know.
I don't know. I think about the people who are being represented in the show.
It's a tween show.
Yeah, it is a tween show, but, like, it was on channels for kids. Granted, it was, like, on at, like, 9 o'clock at night.
I mean, I consider, like, Nickelodeon to be more of a tween channel. Like, they would air live action stuff, which to me was like, oh, live action stuff, that's for older kids. I don't watch that shit. And then I became an older kid and I still didn't watch that shit.
Oh boy, I was mad into Drake and Josh, not gonna lie.
Yeah, which one did you like?
Both.
Yeah.
They are both perfect. So,
I don't know anything about Drake and Josh.
They're funny. They have a younger sister who is Megan, who is Miranda Cosgrove, and then she had iCarly. And it's just them being fucking stupid. Stupid, smelly boys, and it's great.
Drake! And Josh.
But you were asking me, like, what I think the biggest gateway drug is, and I do think it's more of like the prescription medication.
Ooh,
because it's the people who get involved.
That's the gateway drug to heroin.
Yeah, and like people who are selling it too, because it's like you can start getting like Ritalin and stuff. Like people are probably selling it to you in like middle school.
Middle school, you think?
They can sell their like.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. Like
I don't know if middle schoolers are thinking to buy Ritalin from their friends.
I don't know, dude.
Like it's not that kind of like fun recreational drug the way weed is.
Also, like lean and just like the weird fucking like whippets and stuff like that. Like,
fucking.
If you're doing like lean and whippets and you're like in school, like you need to stop that. That's all. you will die.
It's funny. Like my answer was going to be like cigarettes or alcohol, because like I do think that you're just more likely to do more.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people's behaviors just stop at that.
That's true, and like I do think prescription drugs in this day and age is by far the biggest.
And I think they're more addictive than like drinking is, at least.
Yeah, certainly.
Like if you, I know people who you know, fucking who go
my
on.
Mommy's on Valium,
yeah,
so
exactly.
ineffectual. Hey, life a mystery. Yeah.
And like in college, I was always very kind of really afraid of drugs. And I knew people who were like trying to like
Didn't
hook me up.
Didn't you smoke hella pot in college though?
Yeah, but I didn't do anything more than that. Like I didn't drink beer until I was like 20. I was like, I'm never gonna do like Adderall or anything, just because I don't really trust.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's the biggest.
I mean, to give me the right thing,
scariest thing,
and I don't trust my body too, because I'm kind of like a lightweight. Like, what if I have an adverse reaction to this? I have like a lot of allergies and stuff. Like, I'm kind of like, what if I fucking overdose? But the people who had easy access to like Adderall and like Vyvanse and stuff also like had access to like harder stuff too.
Right.
Or like the people that were selling that kind of stuff just like, you know, were in connection of people who just had reckless reckless regard for their bodies, you know.
Did you grab my phone?
Yeah, where is it?
See if I got a response. Out there.
Okay.
I'll just ramble about. I definitely think like cigarettes and alcohol got me into everything I'm into. Cause like I was 19 by the time I even tried either of those, and you know I was completely like I wasn't. I guess I was pretty straight edge like up through high school. Like I didn't do anything illegal and I didn't do anything dangerous. Damn, no response. So like I just kind of you know, I was just like a big baby. I didn't want to do nothing. All this stuff's scary. And then like after trying, like after like I like trained myself to be able to drink and to be able to smoke. Like both of them, I had a taste, didn't like it, then was like, you know what? I want to like it. Like,
that's really funny because like I just like beer. Like I had my first beer and I'm like, I kind of like appreciate it. I had like a Budweiser was my first beer.
My first was Red Horse.
It was just like, oh, this is like,
which I love now.
It's kind of comfy. It kind of tastes like a little masculine, and I kind of like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like very kind of manly drinks. Like I'm into whiskey and bourbon. Like I like stuff that kind of like is bitter and kind of like. I just like the burn of alcohol, but like I don't really like being drunk, and I don't really like drinking like a lot because you know you
should say.
I mean, even when I like was in college and stuff, I didn't want to drink too much because
but when you and I first started dating, we would drink all the fucking time.
Oh yeah, I mean, because it helps. It made me like relax. Like when we first met, I had to drink a little bit to kind of like calm my nerves. I was meeting somebody who I looked up to and was like.
Well, I mean, for like the whole first year.
Yeah.
And also for a lot of the second. It's really only since we moved to Virginia Beach that we have not been drinking nearly as much.
So I would come home from work stressful, crack open, pull a tab, drink some beer. It's nice. It's relaxing. Like I didn't get drunk all the time, but like I like beer. And it puts you in kind of a weird position because if you like it, it like very quickly just becomes like the thing you do when you have downtime.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that, like, we've
gotten away from
we've gotten away from that because it really isn't something you should do on your downtime. And like, I like coffee and I like tea, and that's kind of like, you know, it's relaxing for me to drink those things. I have like other hobbies, and I don't really need to drink when I want to chill out.
Yeah,
but like, it's fun to do during
like,
social situations.
I think I've gotten myself into a position where it's like if anything I consume, I want there to be like some level of utility to it. It's like, you know, I like eating because it tastes good, but you don't eat constantly unless you know, are fat. But like, I don't want to get fat. It's like, I want to enjoy my food, so I try to eat things I like, and I, you know, eat, you know, a good variety of things and stuff, and like, that's kind of indulgent in itself. Like, you don't need to you know, eat good food and eat a variety of food.
I mean, honestly, you could just have the most utilitarian meals possible. You can
Huel. You could just be a Hueler like Nate.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to do that, but like, I also feel like if there is no utility, if I'm just eating for the sake of eating, then that is the point where it's, you know, it's not I don't want to be that guy who's just eating for the sake of eating, you know?
Yeah.
And like, it's kind of the same with everything else. Like with drinking, it used to serve several purposes. One, to cure boredom. Yes. Because I would feel like the day was... I used to always say, I use it to shake up the day. Like, if I feel like the day is going in a direction where I don't like the way the day is going, I can drink, and then the day will be different from that point forward.
And also, like, I kind of used it as a way to reward myself. It's like,
yes,
oh, like, I got all my stuff done, I'm unwinding.
Right.
I'm done with work, I'm done with school.
And for you and I, it was easier for us to open up to each other for a while. And, like, also it just...
Also, we were in Rochester, and there was nothing to do.
And in Boston. Because I remember in the winter in Boston, we got really into mixed drinks. And we were drinking mixed drinks, like, all the fucking time. Like, every couple of days, we would drink a bunch of pink lemonade and fucking vodka.
Yeah.
And we were burning through pink lemonade vodkas, like, all the time. And, like, it's because in the fucking winter, it's like you can't go anywhere because it's snowed. And it's expensive, and it's cold, and you don't want to leave the house, and like, you get bored of being indoors all day, and you get stressed out because you're in a weird money situation, and you don't have proper heating, and it's just like, I'm gonna warm my body with liquor, you know? But like, since moving to Virginia Beach, it's just like, well, what is my purpose for drinking? Like, if I get bored and want to shake up, we go for a walk, or, you know, we drive somewhere. We happen to be near, like, a decent number of 24-hour things, so that's cool.
Yes, that's, like, a big part of it, too. It's like...
And, like...
If we're really bored, we can go get something, you know?
We can do something, and, like, when... We also both, like, you know, we try to do a lot of work, and it's just like, I don't need to drink to work. I don't need to drink to mix things up. I don't need to drink to be able to talk to you, because obviously we're close enough now that we can, you know, we're completely comfortable with each other.
We're a little too close where, like, I will just say the first thing on my mind, even if it, like, leads to a stupid discussion like it did earlier.
Yeah, we had, like, whatever.
We went on a lot of walks today, let's just put it at that.
But... Yeah, I mean, we can do that. We can just go on more walks. We don't have to drink, you know? And, like, we occasionally were like, oh, let's drink tonight. And then we literally will both have, like, a beer and drink it so slowly. And then it's kind of like, well, I still want to do other things. So, like, I don't really want to get drunk, you know? It's like, wow, is this what it's like to get old? It's funny because, like, Dick Masterson, who's a longtime alcoholic, and, like, for most of the show... Like, most of the time I've been following him, he's been, like, somebody who drinks a lot and makes that very clear. But recently, when he was trying to lose weight, he stopped drinking, and he was like, I actually can't go back to doing it, because, like, just makes me feel like shit, you know? And I was like, yeah, I feel like, you know, and he, like, attributed to, like, being too old to, like, handle it anymore, and it's like... Sure, but, like, I already feel like that. It's like, yeah, man, I don't want to get drunk if it's gonna make me feel funny.
Right, I feel very similar. Like this
and
year,
I love alcohol and I love being drunk.
This year I've lost like 20 pounds.
There's just not a utility to it.
Like if you drink, like you definitely feel it. It's like, oh, my body was healthy. Like, why do I feel like shit?
Yeah.
But like it doesn't happen every time I drink. It's just like, you know, you don't feel 100% when you drink, and like when you work so hard to keep yourself healthy, it's kind of like, I don't want to throw this away for a moment, like a moment of.
Why are all these guys not fucking doing anything right now?
Of comfort, but
worthless AI teammates. Attack, you fucking assholes.
I think it's like also good for me too that you are, you know, a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
Like if I was hanging out with people more my age, I think like...
Oh yeah, I mean when I was your age I drank way the fuck more. Like probably when I was 24 was like when I drank the most, you know?
Yeah. I mean for me it was like 22, and like I still like to drink. It's just like there's a time and a place for it, and I don't need to do it to have a good time, and it doesn't mean I'm going to have a good time. It's just
so much more of an occasional thing. And like, I mean, again, in my mind, everything should have some utility. It's like, why am I doing it? Is there, what does this serve? And like...
Don't get me wrong. Like, when your brother is like, oh, I'm going to come over, I'm like, oh yeah, let's drink. Because it's like a reason to drink. I get excited. But your brother isn't a big drinker.
No.
Like... And I mean, I think it's, like, good.
Well, because he knows he has to drive home. And that's the other thing. It's like, when you drink, you get locked in, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of disadvantages to drinking that, like, you are willing to overlook when you're just that bored. And, you know, I really think that, drinking a lot is a symptom of lifestyle problems. It's like, it's not that the drinking is the problem. It's that you have put yourself into a lifestyle where drinking is a solution, and that shouldn't be a life you're living, you know? And that's why I think of it as, like, a gateway drug, because, like, if you're in that kind of circumstance, that's what leads you to do more drugs. But it's funny because, like, you know, as many people have pointed out over the years, weed is way less bad for you than any of those other things. It's less bad for you than soda. It's less bad for you than smoking. It's less bad for you than alcohol, right? And, like, so I think that for me, like, discovering weed makes me feel like alcohol is a waste of time. Because it's nowhere near as good to be drunk as it is to be high. And the negative consequences are so staggering. It's like, you get drunk and, you know, coming down from it's a headache. It's, like... You know, you have to consume a lot, which is like effort. You know, it takes a long time to ramp up and a long time to ramp down. Tons of calories. You get a headache. Your stomach hurts. Like, there's just so many downsides that weed doesn't have, and that's why it really drives me insane when people like complain about you like smoking weed, but don't complain about you drinking. Like, and it's something that I've uniquely dealt with because like. My online identity was largely built around drinking. Like, that was a big part of my character for a long time. Like, if you...
Yeah, you were the guy with the box of wine. You were the guy with the friends.
I fucking would drink box wine out of the box, you know, like, as a joke. I would always have beer bottles lined up behind me to show... Like, I had kind of a gimmick that I started with the drunken anime history about mecha, where whatever I had drank, I would put the empty bottles behind me so that you could see exactly how much I had consumed. I did the pub crawl twice a week, which I drank for. Like, my Twitter bio was I think it might still be, getting drunk and watching or writing about anime. It might now be getting high and writing about anime. I'm not sure if I changed it. But it's like, yeah, a big part of my character was I'm the guy who drinks and talks about anime. And then I started smoking weed, and it was like people made a big deal out of it. And I was like, but wait, this is so much better than drinking, you know? Like,
it's
I don't
really
understand
weird
why it's so stigmatized.
For people who aren't into it, it's like a weird challenge of their identity. It's like, well, I'm okay with somebody. I'm okay if associating with like an alcoholic, think you might be right. But I'm not okay with associating with a drug addict.
Right.
But it's like, okay, an alcoholic is a drug addict, though.
Right. They're a much worse drug addict.
Destroying their body at like an abhorrent rate. And you're okay with supporting that person, but you're not okay with somebody who is smoking weed.
Right.
Like, okay, well, that's just because, like, is it because it's illegal where you are, or is it because you, like, think weed is icky?
And it's funny, too, because, and I mean, I do think that, like, alcohol has more of a stigma on it these days than it used to, and cigarettes have a huge stigma on them now.
And they used to be you could smoke in a restaurant.
Right, like, and I can't truly express, like, everything is different depending on where you live, but if you go to the state of New York, you don't see people smoking.
No.
Like, when we moved back to Virginia Beach, it was like a weird, surreal moment after having lived in both Boston and New York, which are similar culturally. Both are places where cigarettes are over $10. In Virginia Beach, a box of cigarettes is less than $6 for like a cheap one. So when we moved down here, I started seeing people smoking on, street corners all the time. And I was like, yeah, I'm back down in Virginia. And it's kind of ironic because I've been trying not to smoke. Like, I've been an on and off smoker for a long time. I try to keep myself away from it because, again, it's not very utilitarian. Like, smoking cigarettes...
No, it's not.
It honestly... Oh, I didn't realize that doing a heavy attack drains fucking TP in this. Wait, does my normal attack drain TP? No, okay. Because sometimes the attack button is really unresponsive, and I don't know if it's the game's fault or my controller's fault, but apparently the rising strike... Okay, it's like an attack, that's why. I just thought it was the heavy attack, like in regular PSO. Anyway, like, smoking a cigarette, it used to have the utility for me of, like, oh, I can go outside for 5-10 minutes and, like, do something, and, like, there's... Like, smoking makes you feel good. It's a very, like, smooth experience of, like, and, like, it's really nice to do, like, right after having done something, like, as an intermediary break. Like, after eating or after having sex or something, it's like, yes, a nice cigarette to keep my mind sharp, But, like, usually just makes me feel like shit, and it's like, it's not even worth it, Like, the negatives so outweigh the positives that, like, there's no way for me to really justify it in the end. And, again, it's like I'm trying to find some utility in everything. But, like, once more, it's crazy that, like, yeah, I used to, like, smoke cigarettes in vlogs. And, like, I did get some complaints back in the Brony days for the cigarette. Because I had given my OC a cigarette. And a lot of people were really, like, upset about it. But, I still just feel like you get more, like, lol weed kind of response than I ever had for alcohol or cigarettes. And I think it's just because it's more relatable to people. Like, weed as a legal, commonplace thing is, like, new. But it's so funny because in places where it's legal, it's not a thing at all, It's like, yeah, everybody's high. What are you talking about? Like,
yeah, if you go to Portland.
If you go to Portland or LA, it's like you just see people, like, smoking out in fucking, like, you're technically not supposed to smoke in the streets, but you see it. Like, I've done it.
Yeah.
I smoked in the streets in a lot of
places. It's interesting because, like, we recently went to DC, and DC has legal marijuana, but it is the most expensive.
Wasn't DC where we saw the gigantic group of people smoking?
Yes.
So, okay. And also, was it the subways in Boston?
Yeah, like down in the subway terminal.
Let me describe a thing that happens in urban black communities. A large group
where weed is legal.
Yes, where weed is legal. You will see gigantic groups of black guys passing around joints in the most public space they could possibly be
in front of, like, a church, like, on, like, a steps.
As public. Well, the craziest was in Boston in the fucking subway.
Yeah.
Because, like, literally, they're just in, like, a hallway of, like, a subway, just, like, a little, like right there. Like, if you're getting ready to get on the subway, right behind you might be a hallway with about 12 black guys smoking joints together, passing it around. Huge cloud just billowing out, and you're like, wow. And it's going on for hours. We saw it, like, literally we passed through the same terminal twice in the same, like, 4 or 5 hour span, and they were still there. And I was just like, I mean, I don't think you're supposed to smoke in public, but
what are they going to do, send a whole
I don't know.
Cops down
but
there.
It was way craasier in DC because it was on the steps of like
a church or something.
Some kind of building. And there was like 30 people. It wasn't just guys, but it was all black.
Just like, yeah.
And in both cases, they all looked really like stern-faced. It was like they were like, you know, like daring you to come fuck with them kind of thing. It was like, huh. I really wanted to ask like if I could get some, but I felt like I was out of place to say the least. But yeah, it was just like shocking because it was just like a huge group of people smoking fucking giant clouds of weed in the fucking like just on the sidewalk basically. And it's like, wow, yeah, that's what it's like here, you know, like because why wouldn't it be? Like you see it and you just go, wow, this gives me hope for the future. Like this is what it could be like everywhere. How is it not like this everywhere already? Like, how can it be that there are some places
so much
that it's
worse
like this?
Trouble. They're just out there in public, in the public eye, just engaging in illegal behavior.
Everybody knows what's going on. There's nothing wrong going on here. I mean, I would say that like it was a little weird to me because as we were passing in front of them, there was also a woman like pushing a carriage, and I'm like, okay, there's like a plume of smoke rising from this area. Like, I think I would cross the street if I was pushing a baby through this area.
Oh boy.
Just to, avoid the fucking
expose
smoke
them
cloud.
while they're young.
Yeah.
It keeps the autism at bay.
I'll just say it's perhaps a bit rude to smoke on the steps of a church or whatever the fuck it was, whatever that building was. But yeah, it was like a crazy sight, and it's just like, wow, I can't even buy this shit legally where I live. And, like, when I smoke it and talk about smoking it, people are like, I've had people in my patron Discord be like, oh, I don't know if how I feel about the fact that I'm, like, contributing to Digi's drug use. And I'm like, motherfucker, you were always contributing to my drug use! I've been a public drinker for a long time, for my whole career! How many podcasts have you watched where I was drunk and screaming? Now, if you're like, oh, Digi's not as entertaining when he's high, that's fair.
That's reasonable.
I think the only time you can tell is if it's in, like, a live stream, and usually you can only tell if I've just smoked, which I will do. I will, like, literally smoke a blunt and do a live stream immediately afterwards, and that's the only time I think it's, like, apparent, Otherwise, you would never know. You'd never know, particularly in my writing. You'd have no reason to know. Like, I think I write just as well when I'm high as I do when I'm sober. And I wrote my two amazing scripts that I have to edit while I was stoned.
Going to a four-year university, being in Greek life, all I can say is most of those fucking papers got written high.
I mean, to quote, what's his fucking name? Bill Hicks, if you don't think drugs have done great things, enhanced your life, take all your records, all your CDs, all your albums, and burn them. Because all the musicians who made all that great music...
Take the fucking Declaration of Independence and burn that shit, because they were all drinking when they drafted that.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking likes to talk about that, but, like, a lot of, our country's history and,
I know...
legal precedent was, developed in bars.
I know a lot of this rhetoric is, like, old, and you've probably heard, like, middle school stoners saying this shit, but, like, it's just, I can't get over it. It's like it's one of those like it's like a whirling dervish kind of thing where it's just like I don't understand how this can be something that so many people are saying and yet it's not getting through. Yeah. It's like how does this not crack through? How do you listen to people say this and not get it? And it's like do you just not believe it? Like sometimes I think people just can't believe something until they've experienced it for themselves.
Who is that girl who is like the save the environment autist like child?
Somebody asked me to rant about her.
What the fuck is her name? I don't know why I want to say.
Called her the Save the Environment Autistic Child.
Because she's autistic. That's
is
part.
She?
Yes.
Oh, I had
and
no
like
idea.
they're bringing her in to like talk about climate change to like in like government like meetings and stuff. And it's like, who is the stoner girl? Who is this middle school child who's like pro weed? We need one of those.
Oh, you say that's we need I
just
agree.
like explain the basic logic to people. We need like a poster child of
Rizzy
marijuana. No. Shut your dirty mouth.
Didn't she have like prescription weed or something like that?
Yeah, I think. I don't know, dude.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Speak of the devil, and the devil shall find
Again,
you.
like, I know for some people it's like, oh god, I've had to listen to this conversation 1,000 times. And then there's other people who are probably like, preach, brother, preach. You know, and then other people who, I don't know if this is a mind-opening discussion for anybody, but
you know,
it's interesting to me just because, like, I still smoke weed and I've cut out all the other stuff, you know, like, I've gotten to a point where I'm barely drinking. Like, we can barely make it through our fucking beer.
A box of Tecate that was in our fridge
for like 2
for
months
how
or
many
something.
months? Yeah, like 2 months. Dude.
And like, and it's because every time I would drink like 1, maybe 2, and like, you know, a beer like drinking 1 beer has no effect. It's like you don't feel any, especially at the speed that I drink, but like, which is slow. But like,
I mean, if you drink it any more fast, it's like it's not enjoyable anymore.
And I mean, if you're only drinking 1 beer, it's literally not even bad for you. In fact, it's good for you because beer is not inherently bad for you. It's the amount that people drink that makes it negative.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like drinking a glass of red wine.
It damages your liver to drink too much alcohol, but like, it's like nothing else about the drink is like bad. You know. It's not like your liver damage is like a sum total of every drop of alcohol you've drank. It's like you can drink enough to do damage at like in in one instance kind of thing, you know.
It's interesting to think
but
about.
Like, it's just funny that like even though I'm somebody who, you know, I have no problems with drinking, and like it serves so little utility in comparison to the like effort and the negatives. That I just am like, yeah, it's not really worth it, you know? And, like, I feel like weed is totally worth it, except that it's expensive. And it shouldn't be. Because it wouldn't be expensive if people would just get on fucking board. That's why I get so passionate. Like, I understand the way that people have felt for decades about it being illegal. Of just like, man, if this was legal, I could enjoy it freely at my leisure, and I wouldn't have to deal with drug dealers, and I wouldn't have to jump through fucking hoops.
And your government money wouldn't be going to having to fucking, you know,
take drug tests
for all the
before I could get a job.
All the drug dealers who are in jail.
Right. It's like, it's a huge fucking blight that's always been around. But like, to me, it's still, even though it's moving, it's not moving fast enough. It's just like, man, how can it be legal in like 10 states and not the rest? Like, how is that possible? How can it not be nationally legalized? How can it be that, like, I have to pay so much for it when it's so cheap in other places?
I really do think it's one of those kind of
Move
things
it along!
where we're going to need, like, a president who is in support of it for it to finally, you know, be legalized everywhere. And
it's just that everything takes forever.
That's kind of why it's kind of like gay marriage wasn't legal everywhere until Obama did his thing. And, like, you know, it is kind of an overreach of the power of the president, but, like, you know, sometimes it's good. But, like, I don't even know if anybody, like, is going to get elected who would do that. Like, I don't know, dude.
Well, yang gang.
Yang gang.
I guess we did it.
Let's not talk about politics.
No.
I don't want to.
We can save that for tomorrow when I go on Vaush's show.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, yeah.
He just brought that up on Twitter.
I am, you know, a little bit of a political enthusiast. I'm just very interested in the.
I like politics. Like, I think it's fun. It's just the modern way we talk about it that's annoying. And like,
agree.
I think it would be like, imagine how much greater it would be if everybody was like calm and collected about it, because we could have really fun conversations. And that's what I'm hoping to accomplish with Vaush, because he seems like he could do that. You know, like, I'm not going in there to fucking tell him he's wrong about everything. I doubt we even disagree on that many things.
I wonder how poorly this episode will age.
Yeah, we'll see.
This will probably come out the day after.
But, you know, it's just like, you know, politics should be fun and interesting. I mean, I don't know if fun is the word, because it's, you know, it's serious shit, and you get passionate about it because it's like emotionally devastating.
You talk about politics, you should be going in it with the mindset like, I am going to learn something. I'm going to kind of, you know, verbalize my beliefs and try to understand the through line of it a little bit more. But like, I'm going into the exchange with an open mind. I want to learn something. But like, we are so polarized in this day and age where, like, that's not happening. And, it happens to everybody. Like, I'm not, like, you know, super polarized, but, like, even though I'm a little bit moderate, but, like, I have my beliefs. Mm-hmm. And when people, like, you know, go into an exchange with the expectation or just, like, the, you know, just the belief that everything you're saying is, like, stupid just because it's different from what they're saying. It just, like, it makes me not want to talk about politics with people. It makes
like,
me not want to hear those people talk about politics because they're not people who are willing to have a discussion. And it's just, like, I don't really want to be talked at. I want to have a conversation with people.
Or talk down to.
You know, I'm always fascinated with, like, you know, what happens between politicians. I'm always fascinated between, like, you know, how things are progressing.
I think the problem with trying to talk politics is that, yes, everything you're discussing is inherently depressing. It's like all of it.
Yeah, you're discussing the problems.
Anything that you think is wrong it's depressing that it's not the way you think it should be, but you can't look at it that way because it's not. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help you to be depressed about it or to, like, communicate in a way where you're very self-serious because other people can't engage with that. And you just need to approach it like, look, everything's fucked up all the time. Like, regardless of politics, things are always going to be fucked up because everybody has different perspectives, and you just need to appreciate that. Man, I've been playing Pokemon White, you know, and in Pokemon White, the whole theme of the game is the idea that everybody's perspective is unique and that is, like, a good thing, and just to embrace that. Yeah. It doesn't have much depth to say about it. It's just kind of repeated and beaten over your head over and over again, like, everybody has a unique perspective. You should listen to what they have to say. It's worth listening to what they have to say. Even if you disagree, listen to it. You know, and, like, all the gym leaders, they're very careful to say, like, even to the bad guys, they'll say, I understand where you're coming from and why you might think that way, but I think differently. How about we have a conversation about it? You know, and, like, you only start Pokemon battling when somebody won't converse, you know, and, like, they're too, and, like, the bad guys are zealots. They're, like, they, like, think that they are the only ones who are right, and so they won't listen to reason, and that's why you have to fight them. And it's like, you know, the way they communicate is just like any other group who thinks they're right. It's like you could literally ascribe this to any political person who just thinks they're right, you know?
You need Pokemon Pride and Pokemon Antifa.
Pride? Yeah, like gay pride?
Boys, or
Proud. Proud. They're the Proud Boys, not the Pride Boys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right.
Pride is a gay thing.
Which would you pick? Would you wait for the you know, the third edition?
Yeah, I'd wait for
the improved edition.
I'd wait for a Pokemon Iron Pill. It has to be Pokemon Blue Pill and Pokemon Red Pill.
They already did that.
And then Pokemon Yellow Pill. Oh,
yeah.
Did they?
I mean, no.
Who did that?
The games already are Red and Blue.
Well, yeah, but it has to be Red Pill and Blue Pill.
No. I think it's close enough. I think Pokemon Antifa would be funny, though.
I mean, it would just look like Team Skull.
I know, I was just gonna say that. Oh boy.
See, this is how you have fun with
Is the one in Pokemon Black and White like they're like suits of armor
people,
are these things? Right?
Yeah, that's Team Plasma!
Yeah, it'd be Team Plasma versus Team Skull for sure.
Is that what the Proud Boys are? Is Team Plasma?
I just think of White Knights. I don't know why.
No, White Knights are like a blue pill kind of.
No, I know, but also I don't know.
Proud Boys are like they're led by that dude with the fucking curly mustache, right?
Is there any Pokemon team with curly mustaches?
I don't think so.
Damn it. Oh boy, we gotta get Team Rocket back in. The fucking de facto mafia.
Blast off at the speed of light.
Does anybody else think it's racist that Team Rocket is led by Giovanni?
You know what?
Nobody ever talks about this.
Nobody
ever talks about
thought about it. I thought about one time I thought about making like some kind of channel or Twitter just dedicated to like pointing out things that SJWs have yet to point out that I've thought about. Like, cuz I don't care. I think it's funny or cool or I just don't give a shit. But there are so many things that I've thought of that are like, somebody could find that offensive if it was pointed out, you know, like, but like, I'm afraid that if I point it out as a joke, it'll happen, you know? Like, if I say, like, isn't it offensive that, the leader of Team Rocket's a fucking Italian stereotype? And it's like, that could actually have an impact, you know?
No, nobody is like...
And the last thing I want to do is be the guy who got Giovanni kicked out of Pokemon.
Who are, like, you know, fighting for reparations.
I mean, Mario is already an offensive Italian stereotype.
It's kind of like,
people don't seem to care.
If your culture gets shit on, you know, all the time, it's kind of like...
I guess Italians just aren't, like, put upon enough to give a shit.
I mean, because who fucking cares? Like, you know, I'm Italian, I eat pizza, I eat pasta, I go to my grandparents' house, we have a big bowl of spaghetti. We go, Mamma Mia, they say
they don't say Mamma
the lights.
Mia. I have never heard of Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
A Mamma Mia.
You know?
A meatball. It's more about the fucking Clams Casino and the chicken French.
Those are like Italian American things. Like, chicken French is if you ever go to upstate New York, get the chicken French.
Yeah,
it's a local dish.
That's some good advice.
As fuck. I love chicken French.
Yeah, I mean, you can get, if you go to Rochester, everybody's gonna tell you get a garbage plate because it's the meme food of Rochester, and that's fine. You'll enjoy it probably, but if you want to have like something that's actually legit great, I mean, it's like $18 for a good one, but chicken French is like...
you can go to family diners and get them for like $12 or $13.
Yeah, chicken French is
any Italian American family.
What exactly is it?
Okay, so it's kind of
like a breaded chicken.
It's like a lightly fried, like pan fried chicken and lemon breast in a wine sauce, and a white wine sauce over spaghetti.
Yes,
and it's delectable.
But it's like the sauce is like soaked into the chicken. Yes. Like it's a very wet chicken.
Yeah.
I would even describe it as soggy, which might sound unappealing, but if you tried it, you'd be like,
but it's also breaded and fried, so it's like it's you know, it's also like a crisp kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
it's like the breading just soaks up the wine sauce.
If you don't like the taste of white wine, you might not like it. It's not like it's alcoholic chicken.
No.
It's just like it has like
it's like a swampy chicken. It's really fucking good.
It's very interesting.
And you cannot get that anywhere else.
And
but
get it over angel
York.
hair. Don't get it over spaghetti, you know.
Little angel fuck. I don't know why.
I would really love to start incorporating more Italian dishes into my recipe repertoire.
Repertoire.
Yeah, it's not very good at saying French words. I'm sorry. I just like, you know, I grew up eating a lot of Italian food that's good AF. So I always get kind of afraid, like, oh, if I like can't make this as good as I remember it, I'm not gonna like it because my standards are so high. And like I've made pasta before and just have been like, oh, like this is kind of shit, you know. And like it's very much like a trial and error kind of process. Like, yeah, you can like look up a recipe, but like for sauce, you're gonna want to find what's right for you because there's so many different variants and stuff, and so many different types of ingredients, and you know, it's like kind of an expensive meal to kind of prepare. But I definitely need to start making more Italian food. It's just like I kind of shy away from pasta dishes because they're so heavy, and like you're usually making like way more than you need to eat. But
people from New York are always like, pizza, pasta, cappuccino, bambino. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yep. This is what my people get. We give you all this delicious pasta, and this is what we get. You get fucking Mario. That's all I have.
It's me. Yeah, you get the most iconic character of the fucking Western world. Not even Western world because he's from Japan, but you know what I mean.
That's true.
The number of times that gaming history videos have informed me that Mario was more recognizable than Mickey Mouse, which means that somebody published that. Like, because none of them cited a source, but I heard it in like 2 or 3 different videos, and I'm like, okay, where's the article? Where's the study that said that he was more recognized? Well, because Mickey Mouse wasn't that big a deal in the 90s, I don't think. Like,
Mickey Mouse is an empire.
Yeah, but
they have fucking Disney Worlds in like every continent, barring Antarctica, right? Or maybe Africa too.
How do I get to
But they have them all over the place. You know, Disney movies have been around for like generations.
Mm-hmm.
Old people know what Mickey Mouse is. Babies know what Mickey Mouse is. Mickey Mouse is on your hoe's panties. Like, you're gonna see it when you're trying to fuck. That's all I'm trying to say. Jacob Masterson.
Not on my hose panties.
No way. I don't, you know.
You're not down with the mouse.
I'm not down with the mouse.
Not one bit.
I really hate everything Disney has ever stood for.
Yes.
Just because it's
popular.
There's
a good reason that
But now I hate it because they are evil and trying to take over the world. And
oh fuck! You can't even go past this.
They own all of the media.
I probably got a key, right?
Can we talk about all of the fucking streaming services?
Whoa, what the fuck is that thing? Look at that thing!
It's a fucking Ninja Turtle.
This thing should be in like the Soul Taker or something. This should be like a bad guy in a tokusatsu.
I like his hub speed.
Yeah, he's an ungulate.
Oh boy.
Might as well I got goat hooves like an ungulate. I got... Oh shit, I got... Hold on, what's the line?
Have you even died once?
I got something and a fire-breathing dick. I have died a couple times, but I have stuff that brings me back.
Yeah, so you haven't waited out.
No, I have not, like, had to stop. I think it's partly because I've been... Like, it feels like the game was... Like, my teammates are, like, higher level than me, and it doesn't feel like the game was, like, optimized around, the, like, level of having 3 people on each mission, you know?
But they let you do it!
Yeah. It's funny, because, like, in Phantasy Star Zero, I remember being solo the whole adventure, if I remember correctly.
Dude, this is, like, probably the most fun game to just, like, passively watch.
Good. That's what I'm hoping for a Let's Play.
It's like, the combat is so, you know... It's succulent. There's constantly numbers flashing on the screen. There's like weird text and shit.
Okay, it's funny because the biggest hurdle that we run into when we try to Let's Play, like...
That move is fucking badass with the green, like, effect.
Wait. Oh, it says a lure. I thought that was just, like, money, and I was like, why can't I pick up the money?
The environment is familiar, yet alien at the same time.
Yeah.
It's great.
When we tried to play Phantasy Star 1 and 2, me and Vic... Like, the fact that you have to go back to the town and, like, do all that item management and stuff, like, really makes it hard to talk while you're doing that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. But because of the fact that, like, I've just been so well stocked, like, you've seen how many items I cannot pick up because of the fact that, like, I'm already full of that item. Like, I only had to buy Monomates, like, once. I'm full up on Dimates. I haven't even started using them because, like, I have a healer on my team, right. So it's just been, like, yeah... There's been no challenge at all. But I'm okay with that. I'm trying to do a Let's Play, so... It's very fun to just mindlessly hack your way through. The only thing that sucks is all the fucking cutscenes.
They bad.
Like this. Speak of the devil. Were we talking about something? Didn't you say you wanted to talk about streaming services?
Oh, yeah. So...
It's ridiculous.
It seems like everybody.
It's definitely a balloon that's gonna burst.
Oh yeah, it's like the .com bubble. It's like every single company's like, oh, we have to, you know, utilize our.
What the? Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, I fucking.
Oh god.
What is going?
Oh.
What were they thinking? Oh my god.
This is very Sega.
So
these games are made by Sonic Team, by the way.
Yeah.
The Phantasy Star series is a Sonic Team product. That girl with her
blue hair, she has Sonic blue hair. That is the color.
Anyway. Streaming services. What do we call this bubble that's going to burst? I don't want to call it the stream bubble. It should be called the bandwidth bubble.
Yeah. Definitely. It's like Netflix, because they were the first people and they jumped on this, like, having their original, you know, productions, original, you know, shows and series. They were able to kind of, like, take the lead, and they've done great things with that. So, like, all these other companies, they're like, oh, we need to utilize our IPs because people are just going to go to Netflix and give them money for our shows. Why not just put it on our own shit? Like, what are they going to do? What is that show called? The Office. The Office. Isn't it that NBC or whatever is literally making the Peacock streaming service to house The Office.
I mean, it theoretically is a great idea because The Office is the number one thing people watch on Netflix, but I think that's just because it's on Netflix.
Right. It's a long show that people like, but they're just going to jump to Parks and Rec if they don't want to jump to Parks and Rec.
Well, I think they're getting The Office and Parks and Rec.
There's a million other things, and they're getting Seinfeld.
Right. That's what it's going to replace it, because it's like, what I think those other companies don't understand is that Netflix has such a huge user base because they were perceived as the one.
Yeah,
so
the de facto place
everyone
to watch
has
TV
it.
online.
So people don't sign up for Netflix because they have shows. People watch shows because they're on Netflix.
There's already a wave of people who are canceling their TV and cable subscriptions because they have Netflix.
Right.
Those people are not going to care that NBC has their own streaming platform now.
No.
Because Netflix still exists and Netflix keeps becoming more and more expensive.
Right.
If Peacock has a streaming service now and it's $10 a month, who the fuck is going to sign up for that?
People are creatures of habit. They don't want to have to go through extra effort to do anything.
It's you guys have why do I want to call The Office staples? I don't know why.
Because there's Office Max and there's Staples, obviously.
But if The Office goes to Peacock, Netflix is just gonna make their own Office.
They'll just get the British Office or something,
Right. They probably already have that, but they can just make their own show. The Office was good because it had good actors and stuff, but people will watch anything. Yeah. People will literally watch anything because it's on.
I mean, people didn't watch it for the actors. The actors became famous through it, but
yeah. It's just Netflix
funny.
has enough money where it can make its own shit, and the only company that is really gonna be a threat is Disney. And that's because Disney has all of these franchises and all these universes that people are they want to go back to.
I think the Disney service has some chance of succeeding.
Disney bought most of Hulu too, so it's they pretty much killed Hulu.
I think that like I said, people are creatures of habit. When I was growing up, I just watched things because they were on Cartoon Network. All I watched was Cartoon Network. I did not watch other channels except for Cartoon Network, Comedy Central. It's I reliably know that they put on shows that I end up enjoying, and so I find out about shows because they're there. Cartoon Network never once had to add a single thing that would convince me to watch Cartoon Network. I just watched Cartoon Network, And same goes for YouTube. It's YouTube is the platform where YouTube videos are. You don't, there's nothing has to bring
everything in their power
there
to keep you on the site. They have all these algorithms and stuff where it's just they can keep recommending you videos that you probably will like.
And you're not going to go anywhere else because, what could possibly be so good that it would draw me away?
And YouTube has a lot of shit just uploaded on it anyways. Mm-hmm. There's lots of just oh, you wanna watch real TV? You can.
Right.
This is on here too, and you're oh.
Well, that's also true for that's what I don't get about all these extra streaming services. It's are people even going to find out that shit is on there, or are they just going to Google where can I watch The Office and get an illegal streaming site that comes up first, I
mean, they're obviously, going to do what's cheaper and easier, the path of least resistance. If they have to make a separate account to sign up for the Peacock...
Oh my god, what a fucking nightmare.
And
then you have, 12 fucking services coming out of your bank account every month.
At one point, it's just okay, well, let's just fucking get cable again. I don't want all of this. I really do think I don't know why so many companies are doing it, because it's all the big networks have them now.
I think it's just desperation.
Yeah,
I think it's just
want
a cling
to
relevance.
In on it. It's oh well, we aren't.
It's buddy, you're too late. You just gotta work with Netflix.
And you
can't work
did
against
this.
it.
You gave your IPs to Netflix.
It was short-sightedness.
Yeah.
It was...
Because they thought it would just be a fad. They were oh, people are still going to have TVs in their house. They're still going to be tuning into our new stuff. But it's no. These people aren't doing that anymore.
Well, and, I think what they always forget is, your population constantly ages. Kids who don't grow up watching TV are not going to start watching TV because they get older. No. Old people will be different. in 10 years, people who are 40 will not be watching TV, you know? Like, because I'll be pushing 40 by then.
Right, it's the generation that grew up with content that they created.
Right.
Like, there's so many, like, I grew up in, you know, one of the first waves of YouTubers, where it's like, well, I was hooked on YouTube as soon as I was in middle school. Mm-hmm. And the idea of, like, people uploading their own content and there just being so much... Yeah.
I was in high school.
Yeah. Like, I got into YouTube when I was probably, like, in 6th grade, and they were, like, all the viral videos, but, I never really, like, stopped being on the site, and, like, I was uploading stuff when I was in middle school. Like, my first couple of channels were, you know,
I guess I was in middle school when I first started using it, like, as a way to watch videos, but I didn't start uploading until I was, in...
It's really
like,
funny, because, like, as soon as I figured out how to do it, I was uploading videos. Like, I just wanted... I really liked video and, you know, multimedia material, and I would just, you know, make... So I was really into Warrior Cats, and this has been, you know, talked about to death.
It's been documented.
But, every single book starts with, like, the allegiances, and it lists, like, all the characters. So, like, the first couple of videos I had were just, like, the allegiances for my fanfics and, like, the role plays that I did. And it's very easy to make it, because it's just kind of like a slideshow set to music. And as soon as I figured out how to do it, it's just like, oh, well, I can make this. I can make AMVs. I can make... There was, like, this popular idea of, like... characters from a franchise in a chat room.
What program did you use to make your AMVs?
Oh fuck. There was like just this one that came on my computer. And I don't remember what it was, but it was just like you throw in whatever clips you want and whatever song you want, and it just kind of arranges it.
I see.
So I made a couple AMVs like that when I was real little, and then I started getting into like anime more, and I made some AMVs for Ginga Densetsu Weed, which have been taken off the internet. Made one for New Divide by Linkin Park. That was like the song for Transformers 2.
You're not even like a big Linkin Park fan. No, that's especially funny.
No, it's because the song is called New Divide, and like a big thing in the Ginga franchises, they jump over the cliff and they like use the wind to go higher. So it was just like, oh, New Divide. It's the new characters, and they're in the same place with the divide. So it was like, you know. That music video is ass. I just used footage.
Not sure I completely understand, but I'll take your word for it.
You want me to re-explain it to you?
No.
In the Ginga franchise, when Gin becomes a man and joins the pack of dogs, he has to prove himself by jumping over the crevasse.
Right.
But because he's so weak and is a puppy, he can't do it. But because he's light, he's able to use the draft and the wind from the crevasse to lift his body up and float and jump across the crevasse. So, the same scene happened, I think, or maybe it was similar, they were jumping over something. But it was in the sequel series, and it's like, New Divide. Yes. New characters in the same universe.
It's really hilarious that you would interpret the word divide to like refer to a fjord.
I torrented an episode and I fucking made an AMV and I was really proud of it, but I used clips that were longer than 10 seconds, so that video is gone. I got into Windows Movie Maker.
Wait, it was taken down for the show and not for the song?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I don't know why, because they would just replace the song. I think the song got replaced, and then the video eventually got taken down. I had some more AMVs, but, like, they got taken down. Sad. Whatever.
I don't know if I've heard New Divide.
It's a really shitty song. I didn't even like it. I kind of regretted it.
You didn't even like Ginga Densetsu Weed?
Nope. But the episode was really badass, because somebody's head comes off.
Oh, shit.
So, I just used what I wanted to use. I also was just trash back then, and just, like, other people like it, so, even if I don't like it that much, I can convince myself.
I mean, that's fair. It's a service to the fans,
Yeah,
If other people appreciate it, then,
And more people would come to it, that instead of Ginga Nagaraboshi-gin. And also, I couldn't download that show, because the torrent that existed back then, it would be like
I'm impressed you knew how to use torrents.
It would be a week to get one episode.
I mean,
it was not something that was easily available or something I could download like with my internet speed, so I just went for, the fastest method. I probably, like, you know, gave myself 1,000,000 viruses in the process of doing it, but I just, like...
Well, torrents don't usually get viruses.
Yeah, it's true. I did download the song off LimeWire, though.
Well, that'll probably do ya.
Oh, boy.
Thanks to not knowing the song New Divide, I now have in my head, What I've Done! I think we heard that
Imagine
on the radio
that
the other
song,
day.
but somebody took a shit on it and
I mean,
attached it to Transformers 2. It was bad.
God, Minutes to Midnight was one of the
Dark
the
hour.
first true disappointing albums I ever listened to.
It's so sad.
I mean, it wasn't like a huge disappointment because I wasn't like massively into Linkin Park by the time it came out. Like they'd been my favorite band when I was younger, but by the time that album came out, I'd like discovered music, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'd gotten into fucking the Mars Volta and Coheed and all that shit. So I was kind of like, oh, cool, new Linkin Park album. And I listened to it, and it was like, tell me what the fuck is wrong with me? And I was like, this is fucking terrible.
Oh, boy.
Because half the songs sounded like U2, and the other half sounded like AFI, but not even as good as AFI. And I was like, well, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, none of this sounds like Linkin Park. It all just sounds like other bands.
The most disappointing album that, the first disappointing album that I ever had was the Green Day album with The Last of the American Girls on it.
Probably
don't remember which one that
21st
is.
Century Breakdown.
Maybe.
Or Uno Dos Tres.
No, it wasn't Uno Dos Tres. It was
probably
before then.
21st Century Breakdown.
It was, you know,
That album sucks.
I was a fan of Green Day, and then I heard that, and I stopped being a fan of Green Day.
I had already been disappointed by Green Day many times by then. Because I grew up with Green Day, and
I know, you literally were babysat by them.
yeah.
Which is the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm a pretty cool guy. I got babysat by other guys who are known for
Although
for
getting a
having
head
become
nod by
completely
Denzel
trash.
Curry was also probably one of the
Yeah.
coolest things in the world.
That was awesome. He's an anime now.
He is literally an anime.
Yes.
He literally met an anime.
I met a real life anime. Fucking that new Green Day song does not sound like Green Day, and I like legit couldn't believe it was them. Like I don't know why I don't think that the radio stations up in like Rochester did this. I've been listening to a lot of radio since moving down here because I perpetually have my fucking phone. The phone I keep in the car is always dead, and I enjoy it because there's like 6 radio stations that semi-reliably play music I can listen to down here. So I'm just constantly switching between them, trying to find what's the best song that happens to be on. And a few of the channels do the thing where they tell you the name of the song and the artist. And like it said Green Day, and I was just like, it's got to have just not updated, right? Like, this can't be Green Day. This sounds nothing like Green Day. Like the vocalist didn't... Billy Joe Armstrong is one of the most recognizable voices that there is. It didn't sound like him.
If you told me it was, I would believe it, but it wouldn't be my first guess, you know?
No, who did I think it was?
Oh, fuck.
Because it had like a... Oh, I thought it was the Black Keys. It sounded like a Black Keys
Yeah,
song.
it did.
I was like, what the fuck? It wasn't even like a terrible song. It was just so confusing that I couldn't even really take it in, and it certainly wasn't as bad as 20th Century
It's
Breakdown.
not good, though. It ain't good. I would never choose to listen to that.
Apparently their new album is influenced by Kendrick Lamar. So, looking forward to seeing how that manifests. Certainly didn't seem apparent in that song
No!
we heard in any fucking way at all.
Oh, boy. Tell me what the fuck is wrong.
Fucking song. I just remember being so offended that they would decide to start swearing in such a crass way.
Yeah.
That like, because their first 2 albums had no swears on it, which was something I really appreciated as a kid because I could sing along to it. And like, you know, by the time they started swearing, I had been swearing, but it was just like, it sounded wrong. Tell me what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, what? Who writes this?
Oh, boy.
Hey,
we're gonna talk about Surge Tankian giving $60 million.
If we go into
Patreon.
that, I'm gonna have to talk about a lot of different things. I'm gonna have to give a lot of backstory to that. Should I do that?
Yeah.
All right. So, for anyone who's unaware, my mom is a die-hard fan of the band System of a Down. She was like heavily participated in the fan forums throughout the 2000s.
She was
created all well, you know, she would have been a groupie if she'd been younger at the time that she discovered them, but like, you know, they came out in like 90, well, I think she found out about them in like 99 or 2000, whenever the fuck Chop Suey came out. So like, she's a really diehard fan. She's created all kinds of creative stuff for it. Like, throughout my like tween years, System of a Down was like all we listened to in the car. Like, we would just spin the fucking albums relentlessly, particularly their, like, so their third album, Steal This Album, is comprised of, like, B-sides and unreleased material that had all been circulating on the internet. And, like, you could easily get, like, LimeWire packages of just, like, tons of System of a Down songs, but a lot of it was also misattributed to them. So it would be, like, random shit that kind of sounds like them. Most famously was a guy singing over the Zelda opening in his voice that just happens to sound like Surge. But like, God. there was all this stuff that was like being attributed to them, but like my mom had taken all this shit and burned it onto CDs. So we would listen to those burned CDs like all the fucking time, in addition to, you know, all their albums. So like, it's funny because the reason that I never knew bands like The Strokes and everything that like they influenced is because that was the period, like, you know, we listened to a lot of radio back in the nu metal days. I was a huge nu metal fan. Around the time that like the rock revival came around, all we were listening to was System of a Down and Linkin Park in the car, you know? So I kind of missed out on that era, which I wouldn't have liked at the time anyway, because that stuff wasn't heavy enough for me. But like, so yeah, you know, I have a long history with this band, System of a Down. Now, the last album they put out was in like 2005. They only ever had 5 albums, and they were hugely successful. The band broke up, and right away, solo projects started to emerge. So first, Serj Tankian, the lead singer, put out an album called Elect the Dead under his own name. There was a lot of like, you know, push behind it, like he did. I was in like magazine interviews and stuff like that, but I don't think it was very successful. I don't think it was like a huge album. The lead single, I never ended up hearing it on the radio, you know, like it just wasn't, it didn't take off the way System of a Down had. And then the guitarist and drummer started a band called Scars on Broadway, which similarly did not have the same level of success as System of a Down. They put out an album maybe a year or two after the breakup that was just self-titled.
They're still around.
Yes. I mean, Surge is still around.
No,
but,
for sure.
But yeah, they had only put out the one album for like a decade, right? So this is what happens. These are the projects they've put out. And like, this was all before the social media age. So like, years go by, and it's like every once in a while Surge puts out another, like Surge put out a bunch of albums. His second album was called Imperfect Harmonies. It was very fucking strange because literally the concept was that it was about imperfect harmonies, so all the songs sounded weird as shit. It was, you know, experimental,
it's like
but not necessarily.
Strange we tried to listen to.
Yes, M. Strange just put out a new album called like Atonal something, and it's like, yeah, it certainly is atonal. But I should have fucking put Dimates on my board. I should have them, I think. How do I, like... Oh, cool. Add to palette. Sick. Just doing management in the middle of a boss fight. You know, like a fucking boss. People are gonna be like, wow, is this a video game that Digibro is good at? And the answer is yes. You if you saw the button, like, I had to fucking use my forefinger on the...
Why are you fighting Bill de Blasio?
What is that what he's called? What is he called?
Wait to attack him.
God damn it. Bill de Golis. That's funny. So anyway, Serge put out a few albums. I never listened to anything past Imperfect Harmonies. He did like an orchestral version of his first album, which is weird because it's like, like fairly straightforward music, so it sounds weird as a... I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I have like a healing ability. I haven't really looked at what I have because the game has been so easy that I have...
Excuse me, please. I require assistance.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to do.
Somebody's healing her.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, Jesus fucking shit. Why aren't they healing everyone constantly is what I want to know. Anyway, yeah, so every once in a while Serge puts out an album. You don't really hear that much from the band. Well, eventually they started doing, like, tours or just independent shows in LA, like, here and there. Like, they would reform, but they never put out any new music. And so, like, this was the state of things for a while. It was just kind of like, every once in a while you might be able to go see them live. And my mom will go to great lengths to see System of a Down live. There were times that she flew out to LA for shows. There were times that she would, drive to DC. There were times that she went to, I think there was one time, she went to like 3 shows in a row, because there was like one in DC, one here, and then one in North Carolina or some shit like that, and she went to all of them. Just, she'll go to great lengths. And she's, like, met everyone, I think, except the guitarist, Darren. She's talked to the bassist, Shavo, a few times through Facebook. Like,
Oh no, Linguini
devoted.
died.
She's a very devoted fan. So,
oh no, he came back to life?
Over time...
He's not dead.
Yeah, somebody probably healed him with a moon atomizer or something. That's why, like, I have died a couple times, but it's like, not only do I have, like, items that instantly bring me back, but some of my partners have spells to bring me back, and, like, I have moon atomizers. Like, yeah, it's kind of hard to die, honestly. But, like... So anyway, we're in the social media age now, and it's easy to keep track of what all these fuckers are doing, right? So, Shavo, the bassist, he has this thing where he's perpetually getting himself into, like, weird Hollywood scam endeavors, right? So, like, one time, him and the RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan teamed up, and they made a speaker. They made, like, a portable speaker that's, like, $115, and they created a band. It was like the two of them had a band together called A Chosen, and they had an album that was only released via the speaker. It's like an MP3 speaker. So, like, you had to buy this $115 speaker to get this album. My mom did not bother with that. She was like, that's ridiculous. He, like, sold overpriced jewelry for a while. He currently he's all in on a designer weed brand, which is a big thing in Hollywood because, it's legal there, so everybody has their own weed. But, like, there's all this, like, branding and shit for it, and, like, it's all, like, really trash. Like, my mom bought this hoodie that was, like, all, like, fucked up and oversized and, like, just badly made, and, like, and it was, like, $40 or something like that. It's just, like, everything he does is, like, a scam, It's, like, weird Hollywood money-making schemes. And keep in mind, System of a Down is a massive band. Their music is still on the radio all the time. So these people have money. So it's kind of like, why? Why are you doing all these money-making schemes? Now, for a while, I thought it was basically just Shavo. And Shavo, there's other reasons to have a problem with Shavo. For instance, one time, he got shit-faced and fucking got into a fight with the guitarist from Mastodon and beat him within an inch of his fucking life. And he was, like, in the hospital and, like, had to have, like, shit done, It was, like, bad. He beat the fuck out of him. So, kind of an asshole, right? So, like, for a while, I've been like, you know what? Fuck Shavo. And, my mom is, even though she's, like, a very supportive fan, she's kind of like that, too. She's kind of like, this motherfucker has been dicking me around and getting into dumb bullshit ventures for so long. I'm fucking tired of it, right? So, then you got the guitarist and the drummer, who have Scars on Broadway. Scars on Broadway finally put out a second album after, like, a decade, like, last year. I don't care for it. They put on a few shows in LA while we happened to be down there. We went to one of them with my mom. It was not great. was a very average show of a lot of pretty mediocre music. There were a few songs that I liked from Scars on Broadway, having like grown up with their first album, but like, you know,
I didn't like it at all.
We kind of went to go hang out at the bar after a while and like just kind of got out of our seats, you know.
I'm glad we got to go. I had a good time, but like I was also glad that you could go to the bar.
Yeah,
like...
we got a giant overpriced shitty churro. But so yeah, like you know, Scars on Broadway, whatever. I can respect that they're at least making music and like doing something creative, right? But apparently, the drummer is like a Trump guy now. Which my mom is not very happy about, because she's very not a Trump guy. Which is really funny, because so around the time of the 2016 election, there were System of a Down had said they were going to make a new album. Like they were gearing up to try to make music again. And like Jesse had joked like, oh man, that new System of a Down album is going to be fucking amazing now that Trump's in office, you know, like. But no, apparently not, because one of the fucking drummer is a fucking MAGA hat guy. So you got that, and then Surge has been, like, okay, so eventually, they never made an album, and after, like, a year or two, suddenly, Surge made, like, I guess I would describe it as, like, a call-out video or something, basically explaining why they weren't making more music, and that it was a combination of creative disputes and money disputes. Because the thing is about System of a Down, that Serge and Darren were always the songwriters. And they would collaborate, but Darren writes most of the music. Serge more writes the lyrics and stuff, you know? And, like, granted, everybody had written some stuff, but, like, Serge's mentality is he thinks that everybody should get paid equally because it's a four-man band. Darren seems to want the pay to be dependent on how much they contribute to the songwriting, you know, which is something that's torn apart plenty of bands. That's what broke up the Smiths, for instance. The bassist and drummer tried to sue the guitarist and vocalist for the fact that they were paid less because they weren't writing the songs, you know, and eventually they tried to say, like, oh, you know, we contributed to the writing. I don't know if they won that or if it was settled or whatever, but, you know. I don't think
they did.
These kind of things break up bands, you know.
They break up YouTubers, too.
That is true. So, you know, it was just like and it was on top of that, it was like, Serge was saying, like, you know, the songs I want to write are songs they aren't really interested. The songs they want to write are songs I'm not really interested. They were all trying to be kind of amicable about it. Like, nobody was, like, casting shade or anything. It was just kind of like, this is why there's not going to be another album. And it was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess that was all flash and no substance. But the weird part is that this all happened in public. Now, if you were a fan of System of a Down in the 2000s and you watched their interviews, they went out of their way to be as cryptic as fucking possible and not say shit. They were all about, like, oh, we don't explain the meaning in our music, like, you know, because their lyrics are really cryptic and it could mean a lot of different things, which I think they did deliberately to protect the fact that they, you know, don't fall into any part of the political spectrum specifically. So I think that, like, you know, they might have had problems with the president or with, like, the war in Iraq, which they were much more upfront about. But, like, you know, their music was more general. It wasn't meant to be, like, about the political moment of now, but more about, like, thoughts on politics in general, you know? Mm-hmm. Or specific issues. Like, they would be less ambiguous in songs like Prison Song, which is, like, you know, just like a straight up, here's facts about how fucked our prison system is and stuff like that. But anyway, so they deliberately wouldn't explain themselves. Oh, thank God.
You killed him.
That was brutal. Rough. Yeah.
And down he goes. It's a one-hit wonder.
Same animation as the other dragon. So, like, you know, these guys had always been so kind of secretive, and they'd never really let you into, like, what was going on in the way that they suddenly were doing all at once. And it was really weird to be watching this from a distance. But, like, so Serge Tankian has, like, I guess he's, like, YouTubing now or something. And, he apparently invested $60 million into Patreon. And then has now opened his own Patreon. So he now has a
Discord
Patreon with a Discord server. We're talking about a 60-something-year-old man. Surge is old as fuck. He was old when System of a Down started. He was in his 30s, you know? So this is a 60-year-old man with a fucking Patreon and a Discord server for $1. I was what the fuck is going on? And my mom was like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of sick of all of them except for Darren. And it's Darren's the one who was the heroin addict, madman, junkie. But at least he's actually writing music, which my mom likes the stuff well enough. I don't think she loves every song, but it's something to cling to.
Yeah, it's I didn't get the impression that she loved everything, but she's a supportive fan.
It's just really funny to me because I am somebody who, as many people have noted, and I did a rant about this, I haven't released yet. I am somebody who will throw things I like away as soon as they are shit.
Yeah.
I'll still like the stuff that was good. Nothing that these guys would do would change the fact that they made good albums.
Yeah.
But it's not hard for me to say, oh, the things you're doing now are ridiculous, so fuck you, And it's just really funny to watch my mom so slowly and painfully over the years just be yeah, I now have to be an apologist for this. But it's I'm a very strong proponent of kill your idols. If you don't think it's cool anymore, get out of it, when people tell me they don't like what I'm doing, I'm just unsubscribe. Why would you put yourself through this? Leave, get out of here. If you think I suck, don't keep paying me.
There's tons
don't
of
keep
new
watching.
Who are
don't give me your
get
time.
In,
yeah.
Give your time to people who need it. If you don't resonate with the message anymore, it's not really for you anymore.
Yeah.
Let it go. Don't let that person become utter shit in your mind because you keep being disappointed because that person isn't making the same things they were.
I mean, it'd be one thing if I was out there crying and being how come I'm not successful anymore? Then absolutely you should say something. Just be well, if you did this, then people would respect you again. But a lot of creators, okay, I can't be too mad at Coheed and Cambria. I have not liked their last 4 albums. I think their latest album is absolute dog shit. It is it's unbelievable that a band that's written as much good music as they have could write an album that shit, but it's still successful. They still have fans who like their new album. They still, they still can sell. There's people who are excited about it. I don't know how many of those people are just convincing themselves because they're such big fans of the band they can't handle the idea that they made a bad album. But it's Coheed and Cambria is doing fine. They don't need me. It doesn't matter if I don't like the music. It's working for them. That's fine. Do what you want. They seem to be proud of it, it seemed like Claudia was proud of the fucking Color Behind the Sun, which was also a shit album. But whatever. If it's doing something for you, I'm not going to question it,
Right.
But I don't have to like it, and I'm not going to bother. But it's just so funny. But at the same time, I also I think because my mom said to me one time because I brought it up last time we went to see her. I was talking about Shavo and how I was I think he's kind of a dick, and my mom was believe me, I have no illusions about any of them. I support them because I'm it's family. You support them even when you know they're shit, it's just she's had so many passionate feelings and it's meant so much to her for so long that it's I'll always kind of have their backs on some level. But she was she didn't even want to become a patron of Surge because the first video he had released was of him. She said he was awkwardly talking about his guitar collection in a fake Australian accent. And she was I don't know if I want to pay $3 a month for that. And I was yeah, isn't he a fucking millionaire? Why would you? Why does he need a Patreon? If he can afford to invest $60 million into Patreon, why does he need a Patreon? I don't understand. So fucking weird.
He just wants to be a YouTuber, and that's kind of like the idea behind it. You know, if you're gonna be an internet guy, you're gonna crowdfund everything, right? It's kind of like the illusion that like you're helping this guy even though he doesn't need help. Like,
I mean, I on some level, the fact that he, like, when I found out he had invested in it, because I found out about the Patreon first, I was like, okay, I guess it makes some level of sense if he's trying to, like, participate in it so he can understand it better as a investor. But man, it's weird.
it is definitely weird.
That should probably be the end of this episode.
Yeah, we
right?
did a good mission accomplishment.
Yeah,
Mission accomplished.
Beat the boss.
This was a great episode.
I'm
feeling good about
this
it.
is a good Let's Play.
I'm feeling
I feel
good.
great. Catch you in the Fripp side. Miguel out.
Peace.